each month to just go to this camp. So it's quite a burden and financially. But without anything else, if you have any questions, you can ask me. But here's Phil, and he'll tell us more about it.
Oh, I don't have to often get an ovation. Wow. It's just really good to be here in Bridgeville, and thank you, Jesse, for pulling this all together. And well, I just really been blessed by his heart for his friends, and his co-worker there at Travis. I've come to really appreciate Travis and Janie and their heart for girls. As you see in the letter, they have 3 biological children, and now they have also 3 adopted children and 1 on the way. And I've been really touched by their sincere love and reaching out to these children. The girl that we're talking about this morning is Summer. I just talked to her a couple days ago and said, I'm going to Jesse's church. She goes, oh, really? Jesse, he's cool. And I guess she cleans there at the shop, and she appreciates Jesse. But just a dear, dear girl that's been through intense trauma, really has, and intense pain and difficulties in her life. But she's serious about finding help. And she's serious about rising above those circumstances and rising above what she's been through, and really being a godly woman that can relate well with others and care well for others. And so I just really admire Summer's courage to say, yes, I need help, and I want to get serious about overcoming and finding God's healing in my life and knowing God in an intimate way. So that's what Meadows of Hope is about, and I'll just give you a little bit of background, and then we'll dive in to just explain a little bit what it's all about. It's like I said, it was Summer's choice to come to Meadows of Hope. Each girl that comes, it's their own personal choice. It's voluntary. They can leave at any time. They can come by their own choice. It's their desire to have the courage to say, yes, I want help. I want healing in my life. And so I just really admire the girls and their courage to face some tough things in their lives, and really open their hearts to what God has for them. So Silver Spring Ministries is like the umbrella ministry that covers Meadows of Hope as well as Camp Andrews. So physically, the camp is about 50 minutes straight south of here, almost all the way down to the Maryland border, close to the Buck. You ever go to the Buck? Tractor poles, about 5 minutes from there. So Camp Andrews is on the south side of Silver Spring Road. Been there since it was founded in 1973. By a desire to reach inner city children by bringing them out of the city into a camp place to reach them with the heart of the gospel. And so that's Camp Andrews on the south side, and Meadows of Hope is on the north side. A farm was just given to us, 40 acres, just miraculously given. And we didn't even know what we were going to do with it. And then God just led in such profound and clear ways. But Camp Andrews on the south side, that's a regular summer camp for inner city. This young man is actually a doctor, a former camper at Camp Andrews, and now he's preaching the gospel and sharing his heart with other boys that were once like him. He's from New York City, and then other children come from Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New Jersey, all different areas, and they come to camp for a week of summer camp as well as weekend retreats throughout the year. But then these dear girls, would come to camp and they would say, yeah, I want to follow God, But back home, things are really tough. It's very abusive, it's very dysfunctional. Not in summer setting, but in other settings, it is. And they say, I want help, I want to really grow. I choose to follow God, but I want to grow and I want to overcome some things in my life that I'm struggling with. But where do I go? And we said, sorry, there's nowhere to go. Good luck, I hope you make it. That's not a very good answer. So out of that burden came the desire to start Meadows of Hope 2.5 years ago. Our theme is to restore hope in transforming lives. Because some girls come there without much hope. They've tried everything they can, and there's just not much hope any other way. So as you come into Meadows of Hope, this is a beautiful lane coming into the barn there. The theme is, this hope we have is an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast. It leads through the curtain into God's inner sanctuary. So the hope of meeting God face to face and experiencing His deliverance and healing in our lives. The vision of Meadows of Hope is to disciple teen girls into healthy relationships with God and others, and into responsible life choices. What if every teen girl had the tools she needed to have good relationships with God, others, and make wise choices? Wouldn't the world be a different place? So that is the goal. They're usually there a year and a half to 2.5 years, depending on the situation. And the vision is that they would leave with tools in their toolbox and in their heart to make a difference in this way. Skip the slide there. Mission is to offer hope and redemption. Now, there's 4 things here: caring home environment, equine assisted learning, counseling, and then Christian education. We'll talk about each of those 4 components of the program. This is how a day looks. You wake up early, 6 o'clock I think it is, do their chores, barn chores, house chores, breakfast, devotions as a family in a circle in the living room, and then school, Christian education, some counseling, vocational training, lunch, and then siesta, time to journal and reflect on their day so far, then afternoon creative sessions, we'll talk more about that, and then supper, group games, and wrap up the day with some good reflection of, so what did we learn today? What did God show me today? And intentionally learning from what we're experiencing. So the 4 components, the first one is a caring home environment. Lots of time just to sit around and talk. This is the home that they live in, just a beautifully home that many people gave of their time and materials to help build in just a very generous way. This is home for them. They have their own gardens and flower beds around the side of the house, and just whatever we can do to create a home, a safe home environment is the key. Being around the gazebo and just talking together. These are the rooms they're in. The living room where they, nice fireplace, and just a very cozy home setting. And also time to have fun and play and just be girls and enjoy each other in that way as well. Then it's time to eat, so everybody gets around, and a couple times a week they prepare the meal and work together on that. They go over to Camp Andrews and ride the zip line or the gym or some things over at camp as well as a family. And one of their favorite highlights is trips, wilderness trips, where they go hiking, canoeing. They went on a 4-week canoe trip down to the Swanee River in South Georgia last fall. Saw 117 alligators in one day. Oh my goodness. We didn't tell Janie about that. No, they had just such a great time. But there's something about the wilderness. I mean, yeah, I know they're away in the home, and that's great, but the wilderness is a way of speaking into their hearts. They're quiet, they're away, it's just them. It pulls their hearts together. It's not just a happy camping trip. There's lots of learning that happens. And just good, solid things, running rapids, and then talking about the rapids in our lives, and what makes things difficult, and how do you respond to difficult things that come our way. How to be a team and paddle together and communicate well and just have fun together and paddle in one canoe. They actually have 5 canoes, but they're just having some fun here. And just the peace of being in God's creation and hearing the birds and the quietness of hearing God speak to their hearts. And there's a mentor saying they kind of have a fearful look on their eyes, but yeah, it's safe, let's go, let's adventure and pushing into taking risks, pushing through their fears. That's a key part. But then the most important part is that quiet time. Each day, a couple times a day, spread out. Each girl have a solo time where they can really hear what God is saying into their hearts and lives. And then they invite people into their house sometimes. They invite visitors over. Janelle and I are going over tonight and having fun games with them and popcorn and doing some fun things together. This was a very special night. It's when the girls invited their dads to come to Meadows of Hope. It was really a good time, but it was also a time of a lot of mixed emotions, right? And pretty intense time. Is Dad really going to care about me? Is he going to love me? Or how is he going to respond? And it's pretty intense. But then for the daughter, just as only daughters can do, just to show their love for their dad. It's just, this young man right here, he said, I cried 2 times in my whole life. One time when my son died, and one time right now. It just touched him so deeply to hear and see his daughter's love for him. It's powerful moments. And then the equine assisted learning. Equine's a fancy word for horses, right? And so I always thought horses were just hay burners. They just cost lots of money for rich people, right? And no offense if anybody has horses here, but I just didn't quite see the point, except for fun. But they have been tools in amazing ways. A girl that's been through abuse, a horse can reach their heart and open their heart to trust again in a way that a person can't. It's just amazing. And at least the beginning stages. It's just, I don't know, they're not threatening. And they're also a very good mirror to the girl. Like the girl's having a really tough day and has an attitude, is angry. The horse picks that up, and the horse is a perfect mirror back to the girl of what's going on in her own heart and life. It's just, another example is this horse wouldn't do what he was supposed to do, right? And the girl said, come on, do what you know what I want you to do. And the horse knew what she wanted him to do, but he wouldn't do it, and just stubborn. Planted his feet, and that was it, not doing what you say. And all of a sudden, her face got white. And she said, that's me. That's how I've been treating my mom. That's why relationships don't work out so good, because I'm just stubborn. And I want to do what I want to do. And I don't want to listen to anybody. That's me. Now, if I would have walked up to her and told her, you're stubborn, it wouldn't have went over so well. But the horse could get by with it. Reached into her heart, and she saw things she never saw before. One girl was trying to work with her horse, and working back and forth. And she grabbed the horse by the rope and started, here, and pulled the horse, and I want you to do what I want you to do, and pulled the horse here and pulled the horse there, and made the horse do this and made the horse do that, and just pulled him around on a rope. And the horse did what she said, that's to skip the horse. And the trainer saw what was going on. The trainer says, I wonder what would happen if you let go of the rope. And so she said, sure, I'll let go of the rope. Let go of the rope, and the horse took off running as fast as he could, as far as he could get away from the girl. What's happening here? So he talked a little more about it. See, the horse is doing what you tell him to do because you're forcing him to. But there's no relationship with you. And so the minute he can get away, he will. So how could that be maybe like your parents or your God? Do you do things just because you have to do it, because your parents force you to? Do you follow God just because you don't want to go out, go to hell? Or is there a relationship there? And is there a caring relationship there? And all of a sudden she started realizing, if I'm going to get my horse to really follow me, I need to build a relationship with the horse. So she actually did. It might sound funny, but she actually did. She built a relationship with the horse, and now the horse doesn't need a rope. The horse will go wherever she goes and will do whatever she wants him to do and follow him out of relationship. You know, you can behavior modification and force the girls to do what you want them to do and walk the line. And we do have expectations, very clear expectations. But it's far more than that. Because when they leave Meadows of Hope, they'll just go back to whatever they can get by with and whatever feels good. But to have that inner relationship walk with God that's intimate, it's real, and it's powerful. And the horse, believe it or not, helps us bridge that gap and make that illustration. Just say, oh, okay, God's just not someone that keeps me out of hell. God is someone that cares deeply about me, and I can have a relationship with him and walk with him. Now I get it. That's the goal. Then there's time for one-on-one counseling, equine-assisted learning, and counseling. Sometimes it's just one-on-one with one of the staff and just talking about different things that are difficult. Sometimes it's time to go deep, and they talk with a counselor that we have a trained. She has a master's in counseling specifically for issues that girls are facing, and she walks with the girls one-on-one, talks about some of the more challenging things that they've been facing in their past, walking with them. So there's tools for that. And then Christian education, where they, in a schoolroom, high quality caliber education, 2 teachers for only 7 girls, very high ratio, and just giving them a good foundation, finding out what their gifts are. They can learn how to draw and artwork or whatever their gifts might be, even cooking and sewing, vocational skills and gifts. And there's a broad range of education, music and worship. What that's all about, the beauty of creation and arranging flowers, and these girls did such a beautiful job. It's a very diverse, and then also gardening, just learning horticulture and learning what makes things grow and how to plant plants in the spring and the joy of picking things at the end. And bringing it into the house and feeding the family, just a real thrill of cause and effect of responsibility resulting in big benefits as well. And then it's time for graduation. Like I said, usually a year and a half, 2.5 years, something like that. A big celebration and graduate and offer them a plaque and say, congratulations for your courageous hard work and pushing through difficult things, willing to go back and talk about difficult, painful things in your past and really find healing in Jesus. So at Camp Andrews Meadows of Hope, there's an opportunity for volunteers. We get a lot of sweet corn. We do sweet corn in the summer and help it in the kitchen. Always need for that as well. And work groups. And but it's not just about keeping this ministry going. It's about touching the hearts of girls like Liz, who's now back in Reading, serving the Lord, active in the church, on the worship team, and struggling, but knows where to go back to, and God is continuing to do a work in her heart and life. So, does anybody have any questions? I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but does anybody have any questions? I'll be around also when we do the greeting time as well in the middle of the service. Does anybody have any questions right off the bat? Yes, ma'am.
How long do the girls stay here?
Yes.
Stay at home?
Good question.
I didn't read the brochure yet.
That's fine. The shortest time a girl stayed there was 9 months. The longest was about 2 years and 3 months. But 2 years, year and a half, 2 years is pretty typical. It depends how things go and how quickly. Some girls need to build trust first before they're willing to open up about their stuff. And that's understandable. So it just depends. Yes, ma'am.
How does that interact with, or how do you do when they're in a school? They get schooled there?
Good question. Yeah, the school is in the lower level of that big house you saw.
Yeah.
The lower level is school and recreation room. The middle floor is living room, kitchen, where they hang out during the day. And the top floor is all their bedrooms. And there's a house parent couple at one end of the house that lives in their apartment. And house mentors, the single girls, mentor staff, live in the other end of the house.
So what I need to know though is...
The school's in the lower level.
Peckway.
What's that?
Now, she goes to Peckway. If she decided to do this, how would it work with her going to school there?
She would just go to school there. We talk to the school where the girl, whenever the girl comes, we talk to their school, we get transfers and talk about that whole thing, so we work together with the schools. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. We're a licensed school that we can provide education just like any school can.
Okay.
With the Department of Education. Yes, ma'am?
How much would it be to go there?
How much what?
Would it be to go there?
How much cost?
Yeah.
We sit down and talk with each family. When we talk about the finances, we know about what it costs for a girl to be there, but we talk with each individual family about what the financial needs are, what the abilities are. There's people that really, really care about teen girls and are willing to sponsor girls. People like Jesse willing to have this breakfast in a couple of weeks that really help financially. So there's different ways that the financial needs can be met. We are absolutely committed that we'll never turn a girl away if the only reason is finances. That somehow, some way, we'll find a way, whether it's a breakfast, whether it's whatever, find a way financially for it to be possible. Mm-hmm. And so far, people have really risen up and have been willing to back up the girls so they can come, if they're really serious about coming. Anybody else? Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Appreciate it, Pastor, for giving me the opportunity, and bless you as a church.